What's going on, guys? Time for another 30-Minute Sisters swimsuit episode. Here we're taking a look at 3 different swimsuit parts sets for your 30-Minute Sisters line. We got type S05 here in color A, followed by type S06 in color B right here, and then in color C, type S04. So these are going to be the 3 kits we'll be taking a look at, 3 parts sets we'll be taking a look at for today's video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we might as well go in order here, starting off with type S04 in color C. Here we can see our character illustration, but of course this is not a full set. Basically what you're going to have is just what you can see over here. The torso and the tops of the arms and the tops of the legs. You will need a head and arms from a different kit. Obviously the just bare skin tone arms and legs is a separate set that you need, and then this hair part, this is a combination of like hair parts and face parts. So this, what we're seeing right there is a full amalgamation of like a bunch of different part sets actually to make it, if you wanted to make this exact character like this. We do also have in here featured some clear yellow parts for the bottoms of the feet, and for those like color rings that go on the upper arms, wrists, and thighs. And then around here on the back side, another image of the model kit example, and then another customization option that you can do with this part, with these parts, and then some parts from some different sets. You can make a character that looks something like that. So obviously customization is what it's all about. And while these bag sets are nice because they're very thin and don't take up a lot of space, they're cheaper to ship, etc. They're not as easy to keep organized if you don't have like a pegboard to hang them on or something like that. So inside here, we've got our parts list down there at the bottom, and then the construction for this set is all right there in black and white. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Runner A2 is going to be our parts for the white swimsuit here, which is in a high gloss white, so that'll look pretty nice. Runner B is our skin tone parts here in that tanned color C for the skin tone. And then runner C is in this very nice, very fluorescent yellow clear color here for those option parts. And that's it for this set. Moving on to set 5 then. This is type S05 in color A, so a different skin tone color here that you're gonna need for this one. But once again, a nice character illustration right here on the front, and you can see this is basically going to be the red option, of which I believe the original version of this swimsuit was in white, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. But basically all 3 of these swimsuits are just different color versions of the previously available swimsuit option body parts. So it's basically the first 3 and the second 3. The second 3 are just different color versions. So you can see exactly what's going to be included, and our additional option parts this time around are going to be in what looks to be like a clear pink there. So very cool. Another photo of the kit right there, and then a customized option that you can do over here on this side with some pink hair and those pink parts and everything. Looks very cool. Inside here, once again, for this set, we've got the parts list down there at the bottom. Construction all throughout here in black and white. The swimsuit parts here in red are going to be pretty minimal. We have the 2 pieces there in this high gloss red, which I guess makes sense for a 2-piece swimsuit. It'd be 2 pieces. But anyway, here's all of our skin tone parts here on the B runner. It's going to be quite a lot of those. And then the C runner is our fluorescent clear pink option parts here as well, which look very nice. All right, then last but not least, for today, we're going to be taking a look at type S06 in color B. So this is the 3rd different color skin tone. And again, for this character, we've got a black version of the swimsuit this time around. And there you can see that. Here's a look at the actual kit over here, showing you the torso parts, and then our clear option parts are going to be in clear black, which is a very nice. No, that's not a clear black. What color is that? That's very interesting. They're in a kind of a sparkly metallic kind of color, and we'll take a look at the runner here in just a second. But here on the back side, another customized option there. You can see how those parts are going to look, those kind of metallic-y kind of parts. Let's see exactly what color that is here. It's sort of like an iridescent black, which looks very interesting. Here's our parts list down there at the bottom, construction up through here. And real quick first, here's runner A, which is going to be our black pieces for the swimsuit, runner B for our skin tone color pieces here, and then runner C. Yes, a very interesting sort of like metallic dark blue, a very kind of iridescent looking, really interesting color here for this. That'll be pretty cool to see on the kit. Let's go ahead and check it out. But alright guys, now much later after I originally recorded the unboxing portion of this video, kind of forgot about finishing the review portion, but here we are. So we're going to take a look at these bodies just kind of in use. Pretty straightforward. I mean, they're just basically the same swimsuit bodies that we've seen before, just in like different color schemes. So we'll see how these look on the kits. The first one being the type S04 here, and this is color C for the skin tone. So we don't have too many options here for this one, but I gotta say that fluorescent, like highlighter color, fluorescent yellow green for the accents is going to be really nice on this one. And then obviously we have that high gloss white for the actual swimsuit. And then yeah, as usual, we have some other parts here in our clear color, just being some of the different attachment points for the upper arms, these parts here for the bottom of the feet to make those to match, attachment parts for the wrist and at the thigh here as well, if you don't want to opt for just the plain rings on those parts. And then for the character we'll use to demonstrate this swimsuit here, going to be using Lelouch, and we'll take a look at both versions kind of with the arms and legs and head and everything from the original kit. And that looks pretty cool. You have obviously just the white parts for the arms and legs. They're not going to match the swimsuit though, with those being in just like kind of a satin finish and then the swimsuit being in that high gloss finish. But you can see how that's going to look. And then we'll also take a look here at how it's going to look with the parts for the arms and legs in just like the bare skin tone. So that's obviously going to be a bit more suited to like the actual swimsuit motif here for these. And obviously the kit's going to be looking really nice. And I mean, as nice as that white swimsuit looks, I do have to say, I think probably the star of the show is going to be those clear parts, just because those clear parts make for a really, really nice accent color here for this. You could see those working well with other different kits as well. I mean, obviously the skin tone needs to match kind of throughout any of like the skin tone colored parts of the kit. As far as anything else though, I mean, you can mix and match that as much as you want. You can mix and match those other aspects like the arms, legs, the accent ring parts on the arms and the legs, obviously the hair parts, and you can swap those for different hair option parts and everything. There's a bunch of those too. So obviously at this point, I mean, we have so many different option parts available. There's a lot that you could do in terms of different customizability options. Right, so moving on to type S05. Now this is the red version of a swimsuit that we previously had in white, and like all the swimsuits that we're taking a look at in today's set, they're basically just recolored versions of other ones. Like for example, the white swimsuit we were just taking a look at was originally made in like a dark blue, kind of typical kind of school swimsuit kind of color. And so yeah, this swimsuit also available in white. Now we have it here in this high gloss red. It looks really nice. We've got color A for the skin tone color for this one, and this clear fluorescent pink for the accent colors. And like with other sets, we've got connection pieces here for the wrists, arms, and thighs, as well as those fluorescent clear pink parts for the bottom of the shoes as well, if you wanted to make those match. Another cool thing that I should point out about these is that the parts for the thighs and also the parts for the shoulders are just single pieces. So even though you can see a bit of a mold line on the side of the thigh right there, it's not a seam line, so you could just sand that mold line away and you'd be all good. You're not going to have any kind of seam line on those parts, which is really, really nice. And the same goes for the middle torso section as well. It's just a single piece, so even though you might see a mold line on there, it's not going to have any seams. And now for this one, using Rashetta as our example, you can see with her black suit color mixed with this swimsuit body, not exactly going to be the right fit just in terms of like color and aesthetic. Although I will say the clear pink, the clear fluorescent pink parts with the black parts there from Rashetta's arms and legs do make for a pretty cool kind of like cyberpunk almost kind of looking look for that. But definitely this one also going to benefit pretty well from getting the arms and legs, like the bare skin parts for the arms and legs, just to go with the whole swimsuit vibe for this one as well. So just taking a look at this and a couple poses. Again, the swimsuit looks really nice with these being in high gloss plastic too. Also kind of, I guess, is made to sort of give the effect of looking wet, I guess maybe is the goal behind that. Or maybe it's just they're thinking that swimsuits are normally have a kind of like glossy finish to them naturally, but I don't think that's exactly really the case. I don't know, what do you guys think about these being in high gloss? I mean, it kind of looks okay, although I think it probably would look just as good if the swimsuits were just in like the same kind of satin finish that we have for everything else normally for these kits. But as far as this swimsuit option goes, I think it looks pretty nice there for sure. Alright guys, so finally then for type S06 here, this is going to be a swimsuit, a bikini type swimsuit in black, and interestingly paired with the skin tone color B, which is the palest skin tone. So we have the highest contrast here with this set, with the palest skin and the darkest color swimsuit. And really cool for our accent color, as these parts are here in that iridescent color, which does look really nice, sort of like this iridescent blue, and those look really, really cool. It catches the light really nicely. Not quite as like noticeable as like the really bright fluorescent colors that we saw with the other two swimsuits. This one's gonna be a bit more subtle, but like I said, catches the light nicely. And you'll notice that these parts are not in high gloss plastic. So like I was saying, I think these swimsuit parts look better in this more just kind of natural satin finish that we typically see for most everything else in the 30 Minute Sisters line. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts for these swimsuit parts if you like them more in the high gloss plastic or just regular finish. And once again, with this one, we've just got solid parts for the torso, the thighs, and the upper arms, so no seam lines on there. You will have seam lines on the top of the torso right there on all these, but other than that, pretty much really nice black bikini style swimsuit here for this one. But all right, and our character we're going to use for demonstrating this one is going to be Farfarina, which is a little bit different because she's one of the more kind of more Mecha Musume kind of characters. She's one of the characters that has like a lot more kind of mechanical parts to the set overall. So we have kind of a little bit more different look if you're going to be using the arms and legs from the original kit, which are here in colors that do sort of match because we have that iridescent blue, the kind of light blue and kind of dark navy blue, almost black kind of color there of her arms and legs sort of matched kind of well with that. But also just for the reason that I felt like there aren't too many options with the color B skin tone. There is also Laurenelle, but she's the smaller body type and especially smaller legs. So if you tried using those legs on this swimsuit body, the thickness at the thigh where those need to connect together doesn't match up. So it wouldn't work unless you swapped out the entirety of the leg from like the hips down anyway. So Farfarina is working well, and actually taking a look back at the artwork that is actually on the packaging for this swimsuit, that's actually what's pictured on the front of the packaging. So it actually kind of makes sense. I didn't even think about that ahead of time, but now that I'm looking at them side by side, I'm realizing that this was the obvious choice from the get-go. But you can see how this is gonna look. The swimsuit looks nice here, and makes for a great option if you are a fan of the Farfarina character in particular. I think this is a really good match for her. Anyway guys, that's about it for taking a look at a few more of Bandai's swimsuit option part sets for the 30 Minute Sisters line. What do you think about these sets? Which one's your favorite? Would you like to see some more in the future? What type of swimsuits, I guess, maybe would you like to see more of in the future if Bandai keeps making these for the 30 Minute Sisters series? Let me know in the comment section, and of course, if you want to check out some more of these for yourself, you can check the link in the video description to USA Gundam Store. We've got all the different option part sets, the main bodies, 30 minutes fantasy, 30 minutes missions, and all that good stuff. So check out the link in the description. And as always, guys, thanks so much for all of your support, leaving a like, making sure that you're subscribed. Really appreciate it. Until next time, hope you're all having a great day. See you guys.